Hi, Sara Levin, the Artful Inker here. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in the United States. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I'm sharing my alternate number 3 for the April 2021 Paper Pumpkin Kit. So cool! Let's get started. So I have my silicone craft sheet and a larger piece of scrap paper and a piece of vellum, and this finished piece will be part of an alternate for the April 2021 Paper Pumpkin Kit. So I've got my dark and light melon mambo and my dark and light real red, and I'm just going to color in, and let me grab some of the reds, and I think not that it really makes a difference, just trying to space out my colors a little bit. And then the light melon mambo, and then let's add some of this in here, a couple of these places, and I think I want a little more of this. That should work for my purposes. So next I have my Stampin' Spritzer. It is full of rubbing alcohol, 70%, and I'm just going to give this a generous spritz all over. That's why that extra piece of scrap paper. And then I've got a straw from my boba, and let's zoom in. And we're going to blow this around, and it will make some texture in our ink. I'm trying to keep my head out of the way. Let me turn this. And I want to turn again and blow this back this other way. Now, I'm going to stick a couple of mini glue dots under these corners and let it dry. If you don't get the texture in the color that you're hoping for, then just add some more alcohol ink and spritz again. I'm just taping these corners down sort of with mini glue dots so that this piece will dry flat, and then it'll be ready for me in a few minutes. So while this is drying, I'm just going to set it aside, and we're going to do some stamping. I've got half of one of the popsicles that I used in alternate number 1. You can find the video for that in my Paper Pumpkin playlist. And let me just grab that scrap paper back in here, and we'll put it under the popsicle. I have my black Stampin' Right marker and the watermelon stamp, and we're just going to take our black Stampin' Right marker and outline the watermelon, the inside ring, not the outside ring, and then all of the stamps, all of the seeds. And then let's give it a huff, and we're going to stamp. So I'm going to repeat that and stamp all over here, and I'll be right back. So next I've got that piece of vellum that we colored, and I want to put this over my popsicle, and I'm just going to kind of play with placement here a minute. I'm okay with some of the popsicle bits being white. Okay, and then I want to turn this over, and I'm going to trace my popsicle onto the back of the vellum. Okay, so then we need to take paper snips and just cut right on around on that line. This is easy cutting. Almost done on around here. This idea reminds me of some popsicles that we used to buy that had whole pieces of fruit in them. Okay, so let's put that out of the way. I'm going to grab my silicone craft sheet again, and then my multi-purpose glue, and I want to put enough of that down to work with. And then we're going to turn this over, and on the back side of our vellum, and I'm thinking I don't have enough glue here, so let's make sure that I'm generous enough with it. Okay, so taking my sponge dauber and working quickly, I want to add glue all over the back side of this vellum piece, and I want to smooth it out. And then almost done here. Have to come all the way down to the bottom. Oops. Don't want that to roll under there. Not that it would permanently stick to the silicone craft sheet, but okay. So let's put these out of the way. Grab my popsicle piece again, and then carefully line this up. I can do a final trim. I'm going to take my bone folder though now and give this a good rub all over so that it adheres. Okay, and then I'm going to grab some Stampin' Blends, and we're going to color the stick. I've got my dark and light crumb cake, and then my light cinnamon cider. So we're just going to shape the outside of the stick with the dark crumb cake. And then we'll color it with the light crumb cake. I apologize if I've just put my head in the way. I tend to want to bring my head all the way down to whatever I'm coloring. Okay, so let's cap these up, and then I'm going to use the bullet tip here and just give some little wood grainy marks to it, and then I'm going to color over that again to lighten those a little bit, blend them in with my light crumb cake. And now we're ready to assemble the card. So let's put this out of the way. Okay, so let's move on to our card base, which is a 4 1/4 by 11, scored at 5 1/2 piece of thick Whisper white, basic white, sorry about that. And we're just going to hold that down here in my Stamparatus, and I've got my sentiment up here in the corner, and I'm inking with Memento. And I want to ink again. I want this to be good and black. There we go. Okay, and I love that I can be smudgy with the ink and it's not going to transfer to my card base. So let's move this out of the way. Bring my scrap paper back in here a moment. And then the popsicle stamp, the small one. And I just want to do a quick random pattern here. So trying to think about how my finished popsicle is going to fit on the card as I stamp these. I think that'll do it. Let's move those out of the way a little bit. We're going to hold this on here, and then I've got some polished pink, which is an entirely different color than we've used on the rest of this, but I wanted some little like drips from my popsicle. And I'm going to add some right up here. Okay. And we're done with our stamping. And let me just clean that a minute so that I don't have my hands in it. Let's grab this out of the way. And it's time for dimensionals. Do be generous with the vellum that has curled a little. It will want to pull against whatever's holding it down. So make sure you give it plenty of support so that it stays where you want it to be. Okay. Our fun little frozen watermelon popsicle. Thanks for stopping by. Give this video a thumbs up and share it with your card making friends. You can subscribe to my YouTube channel and click the bell if you'd like to be notified the next time I upload a video. And of course, you'll find a link in the description below to purchase some of your Stampin' Up! Products with me if you live in the United States, and a link to subscribe to Paper Pumpkin. Have a great day. Bye.